Okay, so first question is, and I sort of observed this myself, but also I think you kind of said something about it, and so I wanted to make sure I had a clear understanding. We never explicitly talked about, we never had like never like I said, hey, we're going to talk about left-hand presentation, and by that I mean like that Carlavaro thing, like the angle of the fingers. But we did talk about a little in shifting because I asked you like, what if you're going from a C to like a diminished chord? And it sounds like what you were saying was like it's a little bit of this, right? Rather than going all the way out.
So it's not here because then rotation is a lot more abrupt. So slightly slanted, and from here to here. So depending on the shifting that you're talking about. In this case, you were asking for C, G diminished. So if you put the hand forward here, then you're gonna have to have a lot more rotation or land this way.
Yeah.
But
so either you gotta have a finger combination that works with the original presentation, or you gotta.
So the shifting between one and the next, they're a lot more similar. Instead of rotating.
Yeah, you shouldn't need to do this. You should just be able to go.
Yeah, correct.
Which is much more concise.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you need elbow slightly out, depending on how many fingers you have in one fret.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing this, major 7.
Sure.
That requires a little bit more because you have to squeeze 3 fingers in one fret. But here, not as much.
Sure.
So.
Also, too, so I noticed. So when you change the wrist, it affects the fingers, which is just a thing. It's not necessarily bad or good, but you got to.
But I don't really like look when I'm doing this. See, like the change of the wrist is minimal. It's not like
like when you do the Scarlatti, you kind of just move, like this. I don't see a lot of like if you look at, I don't see this, to get to it's not like you're like going like this.
I try to maintain the alignment as much as I can, unless you have an extension, things like that then you need to get out.
Okay.
Otherwise, straight. As much as I can.
Okay.
So, and then depending on the chords, that if you do a diminished chord, you don't want to line it up this way because then you have this problem of fitting 2 fingers. You need to create a space for the 2 fingers in one fret. Now, you don't need this to create a space.
Yeah.
You just need just the wrist versus that straight.
Makes sense. Showed just exactly what you did, but I want to have better. That was a really great example.
You're not showing the. Why don't you just put it the other way around and film with the other side?
Yeah.